or we're going to expand on this idea. So we're going to do composition of functions. I'm going to have a function f of x is equal to x squared plus 3, and then we'll have another function, we'll call it g of x is equal to x plus 1, and we want to find g composed of f, and sometimes our notation looks like this, of x, which is also can be written as g of f of x. We're going to use Python to do our work for us. We're going to set up these two functions in Python, then we're going to do a composite function, and what we're going to first do is find g of f of 2. So real quick refresher here, right? F of 2 is equal to 2 squared plus 3, which is 7, and then we take that and plug it in to g of x, which is going to be 7 plus 1, which is going to equal 8. So g of f of 2 is equal to 8. So let's check that out in Python. So the first thing I'm going to do here, of course, is I think actually I used the same function in the last tutorial. This is actually what it looks like, right? X squared plus 3. So we set this up, so when we plug a number in, we're going to return out y, which is when this is calculated, right? And which was going to be 7. And then we are constructing our g of x, and which is x plus 1, and it's going to return out our y. And then I'm using this capital C here as the compose operator. The dot, or it's actually a little circle, but so this just reads g composed of f of x. Okay. And look at here, when we set this up correctly, we can write it out just like a mathematical function. So just like I wrote, this was g composed of f of x, and then out spits our y. So let's go check it out and see how it works out. But first, remember, we go up to run, and then we run the module, and it'll ask us to save it. And of course, we don't have to save it because I've already ran this earlier. And now what we got to do is remember what that was. It was g, whoops, it was a small g, capital C. We could have called it anything we want, but I try to keep it as close to the mathematical part as possible. And we're going to plug a 2 in, and there it is, out spits an 8. So we can sit here and, whoops, oh, actually what I'm going to do here is you hit the upward arrow key, there you go, hit the upward arrow key. So let's plug in a 10 and 104. Alright, let's plug in, let's see, that was a 2. Let's plug in a 1. Let's see what we get. We get a 5, about a negative 2. We get 8 again. So plug in 2, you get 8. Plug in negative 2, you get 8. What happens when we plug in negative 1? We get 5 again. So it looks like there's some symmetry in this problem. Plug in 0 and you get 4 out. Okay, so we demonstrated mathematical functions, and of course these are known as Python, calling up a Python function here that we constructed. So we get a feel, and we're going to try to stay as close to the mathematical notation as we possibly can. And I'll be putting the script on our document page where you can copy and paste, actually copy and paste this script. So you check that out just below the video. It'll be just below the video on the YouTube page.